Have you ever felt the stinging heat of an insult? That sudden, sharp urge to strike back with a clever remark or a defensive shout. We are taught from a young age that to survive, we must fight. We believe that if we don't answer back, we are weak. But what if the opposite were true? What if your silence was not a sign of defeat, but the ultimate expression of your power? There is an old story about a Zen master who was known throughout the land for his profound peace. One day, a young man filled with bitterness and a desire to prove himself decided to humiliate the master in public. He stood outside the master's temple and began to shout. He insulted the master's family, his teachings, and his character. He used the cruelest words he could find, hoping to provoke a reaction. The crowd gathered, holding their breath. They expected the master to defend his honor, but the master simply sat there, his eyes half closed, his breath as steady as a sleeping child. Hours passed. The young man grew hoarse. Finally, exhausted and confused by the master's lack of response, he collapsed and asked, "How can you sit there? Why don't you say something? Don't you care that I am attacking you?" The master opened his eyes and asked a simple question. "If you offer a gift to someone, and that person chooses not to accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The young man replied, "It belongs to the one who offered it." "Exactly," the master said. "Your cruelty and your insults are your gifts to me. If I choose not to accept them, they remain with you. I am not the one carrying the burden of that hatred you are." This is the essence of Fey Stoicism, Fey. It is the realization that while you cannot control what others say to you, you have absolute Fey sovereignty over how you receive it. Silence is not an absence of words. It is the presence of Fey equanimity, Fey, in our modern world. We are constantly baited into online wars and personal conflicts. The world demands our reaction. Every notification, every snide comment, and every act of betrayal is an invitation to leave our inner citadel and join the chaos. But when you react, you become a puppet. You allow the other person to pull your strings, dictating your mood and your peace of mind. True Fey resilience, Fey, is found in the pause. When someone is cruel to you, they are often projecting their own internal pain. Their words are a reflection of their own chaotic reality, not yours. By remaining silent, you refuse to validate their cruelty. You become a mirror. Without your reaction, their words have no place to land. They eventually bounce back to the source, leaving you untouched. This silence is loud because it forces the cruel person to face themselves. It creates a vacuum that noise cannot fill. In that space, the attacker often feels the weight of their own actions. They expected a fight, but they found a mountain. You cannot fight a mountain. You can only exhaust yourself again. Think about the most respected people in history. They were often those who knew when to speak. But more importantly, when to remain still. Silence communicates a level of Fey composure, Fey, that no argument can match. It says, "Your opinion of me does not change the truth of who I am." To practice this, when you encounter cruelty, watch the emotion rise within you. The anger, the hurt, acknowledge it, but do not let it drive the car. Remind yourself, this is a gift I am not accepting. In the quiet of your soul, you will find a Fey sense of control, Fey, that is unshakable. You will realize that your peace is not a fragile glass house, but a fortress made of silence. As you move through your life, remember, you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to explain yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is breathe, smile, and let the noise of the world fade away. In a world that won't stop talking, your silence is a revolution. It is the loudest answer you can ever give to cruelty.